So we said for Thursday that sentence 1 gets a check mark, but sentence 2, check mark or no check mark? Jaylene, what do you think? Sentence 2 get a check mark or no check mark? Do me a favor, Jaylene, type yes or no into the chat. Riley, go ahead and leave the call and then come back in. No check mark. You're right. Sentence 2, no check mark. Sentence 3. Owners of dogs is needing to learn the proper way to care for their dogs. Sentence 3, check mark, no check mark. Brianna, what do you think? Check mark, no check mark for sentence. No check mark. So for the first box, only sentence 1 gets a check mark. Nothing else gets a check mark. Second box, circle the prefix, write what that word means. I'm going to drag my circles over first. For the first word, immobile, our prefix should have been im. And who can tell me, what does immobile mean? If you say that someone or something is immobile, what are you saying? Violet? Say again, Violet? No, microphone's not turning on. Just try typing it in the chat. I don't know why Google Meet is wanting to fight with us. That's okay. We can always use the chat. It means that it's not mobile. And you're right, mobile means to move around. So when you say something is immobile, what you're saying is that it doesn't move around very easily or very much. Our prefix im is like saying that something is not or does not. What about impossible? It uses the same prefix, im. So what does impossible mean? Sorry, hold on. That does not move, but not mobile. So what about impossible? If immobile means not mobile, what does impossible mean? Chase. Not possible. Very good. Not possible. Yes, Heidin. What about inaccurate? This one uses a similar prefix. Instead of I am, it's IN. Sure, Heidi. What do you think inaccurate? Not accurate. Very good. Hang on, I'm going to try something. Hold on for just a second. All right, let's see if that helps us or not. Our last word is illegal. This one has the prefix IL. Who can tell me what illegal means? Jaylene? Try your microphone. Let's see if it works. Better now. That's very close, Jaylene. But at least I can hear you now. It's an improvement. Brianna. Not legal. So, Jaylene, you were very close, saying that it's not good to do. It means that you're not doing something right. So, illegal means that it's against the law or that it's not legal. Okay? Let's try and fix our sentence now. And thank you for reminding me, Alexa. I needed to present it. What are some mistakes in our sentence? I want to train police dogs when I grow up, said Jason. Who can tell me what's one mistake? Violet? Try your microphones again. Maybe yours is working too. Hey, there we go. And good job, you found two. Capitalize the I. Period at the end of the sentence. What else? Irene? No, I do need said Jason there, but you're right. Said Jason tells me I need to do something. So it is important. Haley. Perfect. So I need the two quotation marks. They're up in the air. Kaylee, where should I put the first quotation mark? Where does he start talking? Okay, the very beginning of the sentence. And Kaylee, when does he stop talking? Okay, when he says, I grow up. So we need quotation marks because he's saying something. All right. There is one last mistake. So Violet said we capitalize this I here. She also said we put a period at the end. Oh, sorry, there's two more mistakes actually. One was hiding. Then Haley said we have to put quotation marks here, here. Alexa? Capitalize the J in Jason? Absolutely. Oh, reminds me, before we move on, or before we find that last mistake, Haley, when I put the ending quotation marks where he stops talking, I also need to put a comma with those, just so I can separate what he's saying from my sentence. Okay? So that second set of quotation marks has to have a comma with it. Brianna, do you know what that last mistake is? We said that earlier, so we said capitalize this I. Let me write what we have so far. We have quotation mark, capital, I want to train police dogs when I grow up, comma, quotation mark, said capital Jason, period. But there's one last mistake. Kylie, you see it? There's a second I. And both of them need to be capitalized. All right. Ooh, past tense of our verbs. C. Pay. What's the past tense of pay? Like when you pay a bill, but you did it last week? Haley? And how do I spell it? Almost. There is a D at the end. Well, I'm glad you're back now, Brianna. At least it was short. So the beginning is right, and you're right. There's a letter D at the end. But what's in the middle? Jaylene? Okay. So hang on for the next one. Who can help me finish spelling the word paid? P-A what? Alexa? Not Y. That's what Kaylee said, but not Y. There's a letter that makes a similar sound to a Y. Brianna? ID. So when it's paid, it looks very different. Remember, these irregular verbs do change when they become past tense. So, Jaylene, you said you knew the next one. So put. What's the past tense? It's the same. Yeah, it's the same. So put stays put. What about ride? What is past tense for ride? Riding? Road, and how do I spell it? Perfect. That one's tricky because there is another kind of road that sounds the same, but you spell it differently. And that's the kind of road that you drive on with your car. What about sleep? What is the past tense for sleep? Ezekiel? And how do I spell it? Awesome. Slept. Okay. Last box. We're looking for a change. German Shepherds are good at protecting police officers and locating evidence. A says to delete the comma. B says to change police officers to police officers. But I don't hear a difference. What are they doing here for answer choice B? Police officers to police officers. I don't hear anything different there. Noah, do you see what they're doing? They're capitalizing the P and the O for the police officers. They want to capitalize police officers. C, change R to is. So they think we're using the wrong verb. That instead of using plural, R, we should use singular, is. And D says the sentence is perfect. Who can tell me what answer choice is the best one to pick for Thursday? A, B, C, or D? Irene? B, change police officers to police officers. That would that would work if it was their name. So if their name, like on their birth certificate, was police officer, then we capitalize it. Or if we use it as part of their name. Like how sometimes when you meet a police officer, you would call them something like, let's say, I don't know. So Alexa, your dad is a police officer, so you would say like Officer del Real. So that's part of his name. You're using it like part of his name. If you're using it like that, it's capitalized. It's a title. Or like when you meet someone like an adult, usually they're Mr. or Miss or Mrs. whoever. You capitalize those. But when it says they're good at protecting police officers, they don't tell us Officer Ruiz or Officer Delgado or Officer Smith or whoever. We don't know which police officers they're talking about. So that one, they should stay lowercase there because they're not telling us which police officers they're protecting. That's okay. It can be kind of tricky. That's one of the ones that sometimes they're capitalized and sometimes not. So, so we said not B. So it's either A, C, or D. Kylie, what do you think? Answer choice A. They have a comma, they have a conjunction. Normally, that's good, but they're not combining two sentences. They have one sentence. German shepherds are good at protecting police officers, but locating evidence, that's not a complete sentence. I believe that locating evidence. What's locating the evidence? I have no idea. Since this is not a complete sentence by itself, I don't need the comma. So we actually want to delete the comma from. Okay. So I want you to go ahead. If you need to make any fixes or hold on, Hadine. If you need to make any corrections to your homework, go ahead and make them now. And when you finish that, I want you to go ahead and do our daily language review week 4 quiz. All right? So finish fixing your homework and then go ahead and do the week 4 quiz for our daily language review.